Alright, greetings and salutations. My name is Comic Fire, and welcome back for more Drakengard 3. In the last episode, we got a friggin' bloodbath. And so I bought that, the Bloodworm song, that spear anyway. Super strong for this point in the game. And it has that stab rush, and it's going to be our main damage dealer for definitely the rest of Branch B and a 80% of Branch C. At which point, afterwards, we get the best spear in the game, there's no reason to go back. Further down the rabbit hole. Bloodworm's flame, that's it.
Well, this is odd.
What?
There were supposed to be fairies in this area.
I don't see any.
Faria?
Ha! See? The poison gas has killed every last... Please shut up.
At this point I was testing out the spear. I saw that it was super powerful, but I wanted to make sure it had a good moveset. Unfortunately, we can't do the jump and twirl thing that we've been doing for DPS, but... now we don't need it, because we have the stab rush, even though this is a little less safe.
Good heavens. Are those trolls?
Trolls. Ugly, smelly, dumb. They deserve
Do you
to
see
die.
that shit?
That's rather judgmental of you.
You're damn right it's judgmental. Hell, you're doing these jackasses a favor by killing us. I mean, it's not like they're gonna do anything worthwhile with their lives. Trust me, they'll be much happier once they're dead.
I don't know, Dino kind of goes whole hog with how much of an asshole he is in Branches. And pretty much the rest of the game. And I'm not really digging it. He was kind of just an affable asshole in previous Branches, and now he's just an asshole. You don't bother with the aerial stamina attack. Also, don't let them bunch up on you. Boy, there's a lot of stuff I never hear until I actually sit down to do the commentary. It's so quiet on my TV. But yeah, this is when spears start becoming the best weapon in the game. Since it's basically the combat bracer's punch rush, but significantly more powerful. You want a load game? There you go. I knew you could do it. And just think how powerful this thing is. The most powerful spear in the game. This thing is going to cap out at roughly 400, which is powerful, hell yeah. The most powerful caps out at, like, I think it's 546. Which, when you're doing payday missions, which exists just to give you a shitload of gold, I think, and it's all based on how many gold soldiers you can kill and how fast you can kill them after you kill a big monster. But with, under optimal conditions with the most powerful spear in the game, I pulled 300,000 gold from one mission once.
She said Lady One is in this forest, yes? And that she holds
That
a
was cool
secret
as
of
hell.
some sort? The mysteries multiply amongst themselves.
I too have been considering this question at some length. But alas, whenever I think of Lady 3, my mind is distracted by non-stop images of our epic late-night flesh-mongering.
You aren't even trying, are you?
Yeah, that one was, yeah, God, there's no way to get through this, like, wall of thorns. Which would be a really cool way to call it. I don't know if the game... well, the game has, like, a little combo map. And it has names for certain attacks, like Lady 3's scissor shoot thing was called a sigil strike, I think. And I don't know what the stab rush is called, but Wall of Thorns might not be a bad name for it. So I'm gonna record more soon anyway, so...
Where'd Lady 3 go? Back into the forest! If only Lady 3 were here with us.
well, then she'd be in danger. Why would you want that? And really, she's not going to be able to help you punch out anyway. You guys are just here to increase my toner gauge so I can handle this thing up ahead. At least I can hear ya. Arch Titans now have a ranged attack. Wonderful.
A titan? Here? Well, that's a bit unexpected. What did you do to deserve such punishment, huh? Because I know I didn't do anything, so so it must have been you.
Quit
Sam, shut
whining
the
and
hell
do
up.
your damn job.
Now, unfortunately, the frame rate here tanks to a point where sometimes I just mess up the combos. Like, the game will stop recognizing my inputs, and then it'll stop the triangle assault, but I'm still mashing triangle, so I accidentally start doing a lance charge. Which really throws off sometimes. I haven't died from it yet, thank God, but... Have I game overed in this LP? I think I did once in Branch A. Now, fortunately, with this, it starts getting to a point where, with this lance, that is, you can deal enough damage to actually stagger super strong enemies. Like if they're, like if say you're fighting an ogre or a Gygus, and they start rearing up like a huge big attack, if you deal enough damage, they'll actually stumble back mid-attack. And you can keep up your lance rush so you're still doing damage, and you can throw them off even more. And with the final spear, or the most powerful spears, it's the only way you can really beat some things. I think gold soldiers, which are the enemies you kill in paydays to get mad cash, are immune to stagger, or just because they're smaller, it's harder to get the stagger sometimes. But much like Final Fantasy XIII, and from my understanding, Xenosaga Episode 2, stagger's the name of the game at this point. Though some bosses that you would want to stagger, don't stagger. Or when they do stagger, you're not going to get them to stagger with a lance. Because not DPS, not really DPS, just getting a bunch of attacks out at once is the name of the game.
She's made it this far. Our front line must have been annihilated. Don't think about that right now.
A little Super Mario 64 camera there. Just kidding, it's not that bad. And standard centaur tactics apply, as my guide calls it.
Now it's a centaur? What is this, a goddamn monster amusement park?
The beasts of this forest have changed, to be sure. We best track down Lady One with all haste.
Centaurs are harder to stagger with spears because
Then we can go find one.
when they rear up like that, you stop. It's not like like Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, where a hitbox counts just like as a total I was about to say brick and block, not a brock. Where a total block or a brick just around the monster, which makes getting hit as bad as it is. The hitboxes are pretty tight around their legs, so once you lift it up, you're not hitting them.
What the hell is up with this forest?
Can be a little annoying, but it's the name of the game. Well, actually, the name of the game is Drakengard, but just be careful. Because your DPS isn't always going to help. Or just don't rely on DPS saving you from hits. It's not like Monster Hunter where you can style on Rathalysis with the hammer as they turn around. $25,000 G, gold base material, and Dark Lord's Flame. I don't know. I think the Dark Lord's Flames are really good combat bracers. My other file has like the most optimal set of everything, so I just need to take a look at what those combat bracers were again. But after you get a really good lance, there's really no point to combat bracers besides undead. As one review of the game I read recently that just settled on flaming the game. Combat bracers are kind of useless sometimes.
Update. The divergence triggered by the singularity known as Zero has led to a wide range of observed anomalies. The forest has changed and its foes are more violent. Furthermore, the singularity known as Two and her disciple Scent are now acting independently of one another. 3240 E0010 QV. Begin recording.
Scent's face in that picture really throws me off.
It feels like this forest is falling apart, as if everything is somehow losing cohesion.
Right? It's making me feel all sick and stuff.
Indeed,
Skull Knight Strike
I
Ganishka?
am racked with discomfort as well. Such terrible, beautiful discomfort.
Uh-oh. There he goes.
I mean, I guess
Indeed.
that's just like a super masochistic thing.
The end of the world may be nigh, and yet we sit here racked with inaction. Oh, how I love to be frustrated so.
I enjoyed being choked every now and again, but I don't know, feeling just
What are you
standard
doing with
discomfort
your
doesn't do much with me.
fingers?
Counting all the bad stuff in this forest. We got poison, we got the undead, we got trolls, we got titans. This is hardly my idea of a good time.
I thought you enjoyed killing ugly things. Figured you'd be happy as a pig in shit right now.
There's something, I don't know, man. There's just something wrong about this place.
As if the logic of the world has become undone.
You feel it too, Octa?
Oh, I feel something, all right. Something in my trousers.
Besides that,
That's
you
like
must have
Octa
felt
in a
something
line.
Weird going on around here.
Oh, that. Well, yes. The world does seem a tad out of balance. Though that could just be all the blood that's currently rushing from my
Alright, for
head.
some reason my computer started slowing down and the video played like
Perhaps
all
a
choppy.
brief ride on my hobby horse
That doesn't
would
happen
help
again.
put me
I'm just
right
watching
in.
the video on
What do you
a
say?
Windows Media Player. That doesn't usually happen. Then everything refreshed, so...
Are we gonna be okay, Zero?
Because I had a little burp. Laptop's getting a little old after all.
Stuff you guys are talking about.
Don't butt in on things you don't understand.
Boy, that was hostility in that voice.
I want to talk about important sounding stuff too. I just want to know what's going on.
Boy howdy, me too, buddy.
All kinds of things.
You'll learn in time, little buddy.
I want to know about.
For some reason I didn't know if that was the first or second.
Who is this woman that continues to flit about the corners of my mind?
I'd assume Lady
She has
2.
short blue hair and mischievous eyes. I think she's looking at me.
Sounds like two.
Two. So that's two, is it?
No one forgets 2. How dare 2? Haha.
Oh, that's odd. Why can't I get her face out of my mind?
I'm sure that isn't going to come to bite us in the ass later in the game.
So what do we do now?
Go deeper into the forest. There is no other choice.
We need to find Lady 1 or Lady 3 as soon as possible.
Maybe we can find them both at once. That'll certainly make things easier.
I don't really know if it would make it easier. Handling 2 intoners at once sounds frighteningly difficult, actually. Especially given that 1 seems to be the most combat adept of them all, despite using a chakram. It gives a range that none of the others have. Because I don't think we ever fight 3 on foot. Yeah, no, we never fight 3 on foot. That's weird. Ah, yeah, fuck this place. By this point in the game, I highly recommend getting this spear, because damage walls at this point are going to become almost impossible to surmount without that super high level of DPS.
She never did make any goddamn sense.
I don't know, I think that's one of the clearest things someone can do. That's just pure vanity. It's like a selfie made out of precious stone. The guide I follow a guide when I record Drakengard episodes. And I mean while I'm recording them. Because I want to find all the chests immediately so I don't miss anything or have to go back later. I just want to get everything smoothly done and make this LP as smooth as possible. Now, this guide is very lax with info on this section of the game, so I had no idea where the chests were. And they straight up don't mention one of them. Which is why I spend a little longer on this part than I need to.
When the golden swallow's tears overflow, the world's mirror will shatter into a rainbow of color.
Ugh, like I need this nonsense right now.
Yeah, at least it's not that block puzzle from before. Screw that thing. Now, I don't know if the statues have, like, HP and need to be wiped out by number of the damage you do to it or number of hits.
A curtain parts.
What's that mean, huh? What's it mean?
Don't worry about it. I doubt it means anything.
Because I wonder if a full stamina bar of combat bracer would do the same here.
Red runs through the sky. The soul's stairway spans the evening star.
The soul's what now?
I kind of want to message this guy and ask him to fix that little bit, but I don't know. It's a really, really good guide other than just this section alone. I'd give a shout out to the guy, but I don't remember his name. I also don't feel like I should mention it at all, because if someone just happens to find it here, just like, why don't you have this? And I don't want to be the guy who who draws attention to that sort of thing. It's a fantastic guide, it's just one little hiccup that I wasn't fond of.
Blue runs through the sands. A one-armed rabbit chases a future lizard.
Have you any reaction to these poems, my lady?
I'm tired of this shit. How's that?
I was at the wrong one. I misunderstood. I don't know, this one just looked a lot more important with the whole statue thing. This whole map is just a reverse of the first time we went through it, with some parts cut out. But a lot of maps get reused in these branches. Yeah, I think at this point we've actually seen every map in the game, and the future versions of maps are just going to be palette swaps, flipped. The game was made on a shoestring budget, so I'm not judging. I actually think the game's kind of charming for what it is. I'm happy it got made at all. I just hope a future Drakengard 4 is better. Closer in line to what 3 clearly wanted to be.
Quit your yapping, you stupid mutts. Pieces of shit need to hurry up and die.
Pieces of shit? So predictable. Maybe try pus-encrusted boils next time?
It's a little much for me there, Set.
Can I swap you guys out for a new party?
A maiden's footpaths trample grass, giving way to thorns.
I'm trying to think if there is any meaning in her poems. I might be missing something big here. Now, if you kill all the wolves, they're gonna come back.
Dance. The fiery embers dance up to the promised land.
They come back, but they do take a little while to come back, and it's enough time to get to another statue and already put a serious hurting on it.
The visions in your mind are but phantoms. They soar and return to the grave.
And with this spear, most of the wolves are just going to end up running into your wall of thorns, as it were. I still want to make that a
The
thing.
swallow's breath becomes a shackle, burying twin strawberries in the world's depths.
Here's
What
why
is
you
it?
really want the spear.
Finally done.
The nimble dog arises from the underworld, sounding a drumbeat from the grass.
Damn, that's a leap.
I knew that was coming.
Now, regular Cerberus Cerberi, whatever you want to call them, regular demon dogs, aren't too bad. This guy is what I believe probably is one of the most dangerous enemies in the entire game.
So long as it dies like all the rest, I'm good.
Because that rush can deal an insane amount of damage. its tail there, it has a triple tail stab thing that, at this point in the game, I think is capable of one-shotting you if all three things hit. Fortunately, I know how to handle it, but I have gotten a game over to this particular one more than once. That thing. If all three of those hit you, at this point in the game, I think it'll put a serious hurting on you, and I think by branch C, it's enough to one-shot you. Watch your back, boyo, if you're not capable of parrying. Or girlo. Just doesn't really roll with the tongue as well, yeah? Why don't you use those swords? Why do you have them? Kaze Ninja brought up a real good thing there.
3.
Zero. I screwed up. I invited one to the forest so I could kill her, but she's... Be careful.
I guess that's easier than the first time.
Is she dead? She's totally dead!
What the hell is going on here?
It's an accurate representation for Branch B in general. But it gets weirder from here, viewers. Though Branch B ends next episode. Mission completes. Get some fat stacks of EXP. Though not really enough to level. Get 17,000 G, gold base material, and 9,000 G. Ah, yeah.
You've been cleaning up lately. Maybe you can handle this now.
Starting with Branch B, the more you use disciples, the more they begin to trust you.
Permit me to repay you for your kindness, my lady. I hope to suffer more, much more, of its...
Shoot. They give you new weapons. They're second weapons. And I know it starts after Branch B starts, because you can start putting on Scent and Octa right now, which is what I'm about to do. And by the middle of Branch B, they'll hand over their weapons. Middle of Branch C, I should say. They'll hand over their weapons. So, do it. There's no reason not to. Because they all suck equally as much.
Off I go, then.
See you guys next time.
Time to bring some class to this operation.